Residenz is a formal but otherwise obsolete German word for place of living. It is in particular used to denote the building or town where a sovereign ruler resided, therefore also carrying a similar meaning as the modern expression seat of government or capital. As there were many sovereign rulers in the Holy Roman Empire, ranking from lord to prince-elect and king, there are many towns, palaces, and castles in this territory which used to be a residence and are partially still so referred to today. The former residence status of a town is frequently reflected by the architecture of its center. During the Baroque period especially, many prestigious buildings were erected, sometimes even new towns were founded. Today former residence towns mostly still serve as cultural and administrative centers. Examples of buildings or towns. Residenz. Munich, the former residence of the monarchs of Bavaria. Munich remains capital of the German state of Bavaria. Wurzburg Residenz, the former residence of the prince-bishops of Wurzburg. Wurzburg today is capital of the Lower Franconia government district of Bavaria. Alta Residenz, the former residence of the archbishops of Salzburg. Salzburg today is capital of the Salzburg state of Austria. Prussia's three resident cities where, in theory at least, the royal family could live, were Berlin, Königsberg, and Breslau. Residenz is newly founded in the Baroque era. Louis William, Margrave of Baden-Baden, General Field Marshal of the Holy Roman Empire, nicknamed Turkish Louis for his successes against the Turks and now in possession of a Great War Prize. In 1699 altered plans for a hunting lodge being built near the village of Rastatt since 1697. Aiming to become Prince-Elector, he spent 12 million guilders on Rastatt Castle. The village grew accordingly and was incorporated as a town in 1700. Louis William lived at the castle from 1702, and the court followed from Baden in 1705. Eberhard Louis, Duke of Württemberg, had similarly in 1704 begun reconstruction of a destroyed hunting lodge north of his residence of Stuttgart. In 1705 he named the site Ludwigsburg. Plans were enlarged in 1706 and again in 1715, resulting in Ludwigsburg Palace. In 1709, Eberhard Louis moved to the new castle. Beginning in the same year, a planned community was constructed near the palace which was incorporated as town in 1718. Ludwigsburg officially became Württemberg Residenz in 1718. After Eberhard Louis' death in 1733, his successor took the court back to Stuttgart. Once again from 1764 to 1775, Charles Eugene, in quarreling with the Duchy's estates over yet another residence, the Stuttgart New Palace, moved the residence to Ludwigsburg. In 1715, Margrave Charles William of Baden-Durlach chose to build a new residence in a space in the woods he called Karlsruhe. From 1717 on, Karlsruhe was residence of Baden-Durlach, later of the Grand Duchy of Baden, and in 1719, the administration had been completely transferred from Durlach. After 1952, when the states of Baden and Württemberg were merged into Baden-Württemberg, the Württemberg capital Stuttgart becoming capital of the new state, Karlsruhe not only remained capital of a government district of the same name, but in compensation became Residenz des Rechts for all Germany, seating the Federal Constitutional Court and the Federal Court of Justice. Charles III Philip, Elector Palatine since 1716, in 1720 transferred his residence from Heidelberg to Mannheim, a fort at the confluence of the rivers Rhine and Neckar which had been destroyed in the war and was now being reconstructed. Construction of Mannheim Palace began in 1720 in place of the former citadel.